I had like 3 of these yesterday. This is my second one today. I might have a problem. Let me preface real quick. While I will talk mostly about the ZETZ stuff, I'm also going to bring up a little more into my actual like LA Comic-Con experience and a couple of other Toku stuff. So let me start out by saying I'm not really a con guy. I know I probably post more than you think that I do go to cons, but it's mainly for business purposes. Like last time I went to a con was because of the Ultraman card game, but otherwise it's mostly like Paramorphicon and San Diego Comic-Con if they have something Toku related there. So I wasn't really planning on going to LA Comic-Con in the first place. Then, out of nowhere, after posting some random meme, the Kamen Rider Global account posts, Kamen Rider ZETZ is coming to LA Comic-Con. Okay. In what capacity? The first thing they said was that there was going to be a showing of the Kamen Rider Double movie, A through Z. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I know a lot of comments immediately were like, oh my gosh, does this mean we're finally going to get the Kamen Rider series in America? Is there going to be a physical release or subbed on like their channel or something? But I'm sorry to say they've had this movie subbed for a couple of years now through Toei Tokusatsu World, so that doesn't mean that they're going to... My cat just decided to say hi. That doesn't mean it's any big news. Sorry to rain on your parade. They just had it ready. The other thing was that on Sunday, they were going to show the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider ZETZ. Wow, that's actually pretty cool of them to do. Even though it is like 2 hours, you're going to have to set aside a lot of time for your Comic-Con experience. But hey, that's still pretty cool. Like, breaking news! Now you can watch Kamen Rider ZETZ on YouTube. Not a live stream, but actually archived and uploaded. Thank you, Toei. Sorry, my cat just keeps, like, playing on my lap and trying to, like, jump on my computer. And then the big thing. Meet chief producer Hideaki Yanaka there at LA Comic-Con. Despite all that, I still wasn't really all that interested. I mean, it was cool. It was a really neat announcement, but I wasn't sure exactly if I was going to go. I still sent in my application for a press pass and I got approved pretty quickly, and I still was on the fence about it. Los Angeles isn't across the country from me or anything, but it still would have been a pretty long drive, so I wasn't sure if I still wanted to go, until the Kamen Rider Global account also posts on another random day the chief producer wouldn't be the only one there, but also the Kamen Rider ZETZ suit. Alright, well, they got me. They bring in a suit, I gotta go. So then I got everything together super last minute. I couldn't make it Friday or Saturday because I had some personal friend stuff to go to. But then Sunday I was open. I even asked my best friend to join me, and it was, again, super last minute, but we were able to go after all. Can you tell I woke up at 5 in the morning? Gosh, I swear I don't always look this bad. Also, off topic, can I just say, kind of annoying to go from, like, the general audience, section all the way to the south end just to pick up my press pass. Why wasn't this, like, just near the general audience section? It was kind of annoying to go back and forth a couple of times, but anyway. After a few hours, we drive there, and I go to the booth, like, first thing after we get our passes, and they hand this stuff out, which is neat. I wasn't expecting, like, too much stuff. I was honestly just expecting, like, their cute little logo and their, well, watch Kamen Rider and follow us kind of thing. They also gave, like, a cardboard ZETZ belt. I don't know. It's cool, I guess. And then another surprising thing, a Gav sticker. But you see something stand out there? That's an English logo. This does not mean Gav is coming to America. Someone on Twitter did ask a representative there, and they said that these were actually just leftovers from their Indian release, where they do, like, have the English logo. So, unfortunately, that does not mean Gav is coming. It might, but that doesn't mean we're getting it anytime soon. Oh yeah, duh, I probably should have mentioned that the Kamen Rider booth itself was pretty big. It was, like, the first thing you saw going into the anime section of Comic-Con. Like, it had this ginormous mural that looked beautiful. It was gorgeous. But nearby there was like a Maruchan booth where they were giving away like samples of Maruchan, and that of course got a lot of people in. But other than that, I think the Kamen Rider one was probably like the biggest or most biggest presenting of the booths there. My cat really wants to play. One of the most surprising things for me though was that they didn't have merch there. You would think that they would sell some kind of merch. This Kamen Rider Kuga belt, I actually got it from the last time that they were at a Comic-Con, but now they didn't have anything. No Blu-rays, no belts to buy. It was pretty surprising, honestly. I mean, it's not like they have to have merch. It's just a ginormous missed opportunity, but Oh, well. They did show off a lot of the toys, though. Like, they had the belts lined up in a glass case, alongside those ZETZ merchandise, also in glass cases. It was pretty cool seeing it all lined up. They also had a TV playing Kamen Rider in the background. Revice was playing there. That does not mean they're gonna have Revice coming anytime soon, either. I know we all want Kamen Rider as much as possible, but even these little, like quote-unquote hints doesn't mean that they're coming. They just have these. And of course, I got recognized there a few times, which is always very humbling, so thank you for those who actually walked up and said hi to me. I had a couple of you ask where I got my green Boonboomger shirt from. It's from Nerdious. I'll have it linked in the description. And the green one was custom made. It was very cool. Of course, also met Thomas Jujubee. We were hanging out, him and my friend. We were hanging out like the whole con, and that was pretty fun too. There was a guy who said he loved seeing our reactions on Kaz's stream, so shout out to him. He was pretty chill, and he loved seeing our interactions in person too. So that was a lot of fun. And then it was finally time to actually meet Mr. Zeztz himself. Of course, the suit wasn't like the actual suit they used in the show or one of the replicas, because the material and the texture of what they had, it was more like a stage show suit, which it was still pretty good quality. It just wasn't like from the show. It was just so much fun. I just love these meet and greets with the suits more than the actors. That's my contribution. There was like a poll taking place where you would put like these little red stickers on a Kamen Rider that you want to see. And it was the Kamen Rider series. It wasn't like the Kamen Rider's writers. It was like the series that you like the most. Of course, I was there to put a little sticker on the Kamen Rider Z Cross one because I want to see Z Cross on Blu-ray or officially released. And it was actually really, really funny to see in real time. Like all the votes certain writers got. If you're commonly in the fandom, the ones you think are gonna get the most votes and the least votes, you're probably right. Kamen Rider Build got by a wide margin, like a huge landslide. Build got the most votes. I mean, it's no surprise. It is a good show. ZETZ too. Like I actually really like ZETZ. I know a lot of people do. That's why it also had a lot of votes. And what surprised me a little bit was that Gotchard got like little to none. I mean, I thought recency bias would play a huge part there, but I guess not a lot of people like Gotchard. And poor Ghost had like none for a long, long time. He was probably like the least voted on Heisei writer. Like even Hibiki had like 2 votes at the time. And in a surprise to no one, Showa writers got the least votes. There was a lot of Showa writers who got no votes at all. So I mean, it's not surprising. Like I said, it is still really funny to see that no one really watches Showa Rider, but everyone loves Build and ZETZ. Before we get to the big stuff, I should mention the other Toku that was there. I did mention that I actually like seeing the suits more than the actors themselves. There were 3 Gokaiger actors there, green, pink, and red, and I did meet Captain Marvelous at the previous Paramorphicon. I was actually there to moderate his panel, so that was pretty neat. So it's pretty cool that they're there in the first place. I did notice on Twitter that there was ginormous lines for them, so it's pretty good that you guys are going out to support and see them. I did not hear at all about Ultraman being there until like day of. Thomas told me that there was going to be like a Ultraman TCG thing there, which I thought I was on top of. I thought I was following them on everything, but I just didn't see anything about it. After we met the ZETZ suit, we went out to go to the Ultraman thing, and the booth was really, really small, which is surprising because Ultraman usually does have a lot going on for cons because, like I said, I met Ultraman Zero. They had their own panel. They had a ton of stuff, but I didn't really see a lot of Ultraman in general. But next to that Ultraman booth was another Ultraman booth. This time, for a novel. It's like a flashback to me. I was like, Ultraman has another novel? Like, they had previous ones about, like, the show novelizations themselves, but this is an original novel, and the author was there. Rebecca Reynolds. She was honestly very sweet. She was talking to me for a while, and she signed my book here. to Marcos. She was very sweet, and I loved talking to her about this. She was saying that this was like an original story with a triple SP team, but in America, which I was very super interested in. I pointed out, oh yeah, you even got Balton for the first one, and I was like, yeah, I was gonna read this like the moment I got home, and I did read some of it at least, and it was really good from what I read so far. So I can't wait to see more. Actually, I do want to talk about this in a video someday. I do want to talk about the other Ultraman novels in a video someday, but we're gonna wait on that because this is I gotta learn more about this. This is just incredible. So aside from all the general Comic-Con things of just like walking around, and I even bought like a little Lego Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So aside from all that, we just did our regular stuff.
Why is Kamen Rider ZETZ on the gaming stage?
Like, what are the things that we use?
It was almost time for the panel, and I want to say even the build-up to the panel, just waiting for it, felt good. Like, there was tons of people. That panel got filled fast, and it was like in a wide open area, so there was like more people like all around, like just standing to watch. It was a little overwhelming, I'll admit, but just the vibe there, it was great. All these Kamen Rider fans coming together to watch Kamen Rider ZETZ and see the producer and stuff. It was incredible. I don't think that feeling will ever be replicated to me. It was I'll never forget that moment.
Hi. We did a mistake.
I didn't know. So I got
Yeah, I met Iron Mouse. She was also very sweet. Oh my gosh, she watched my video once on a stream. I can't find it. It feels like lost media at this point, but yeah, she was incredible. It was you see, I'm stammering. I don't even know what to say. It was just so cool to meet her, and yeah, very, very neat.
We're sitting for the ZETZ panel. Marcos is... Oh, here we go. We're getting 2 views.
And then it was finally time. Okay, so the panel, there were a few highlights I want to bring up, of course. Hideaki Yanaka got like pretty much a standing ovation just being there, and he would say, I'm on it, and do all that. It was... Again, it was incredible.
Mr. Hideaki Yanaka!
I can't believe we got this far, so good job, guys. Good job telling them that we want more Kamen Rider here, so cool.
Are you up for the challenge?
I'm on it.
Woo!
I do have to admit, though, the panel was a little less than I was expecting because they don't want to talk too deeply about the show, especially since we're so early into it. They can't really give all the details about producing a show like this, but they did have a couple of good talking points. Producer Yanaka specifically said that producing Kamen Rider ZETZ had the international audience in mind from day one, which a lot of us probably expected. A lot of us probably surmised that they were going to have some influence, especially since it's going to be international from day one, but it is really cool that we got some confirmation about it. Along with inspiration coming from 007 and Mission Impossible, I mean, most of us probably would consider that they thought about this for a spy-themed show, but it is really neat that the chief producer himself confirms that, yeah, what we were thinking was right. Another neat tidbit that I don't think a lot of people pointed out, but I did notice as a huge History of Kamen Rider nerd, he did point out that Yuya Takahashi, the writer for the show, was the one who thought up of the dream theme first, so everybody else would go along with that. Sometimes it's the producer side or even Plex who thinks of all these motifs and production stuff, of course, first before the writer does, and then the writer just writes the story around that. But this time it was actually another cool thing to confirm that that Yuya Takahashi was one who thought of the dream motif first, and then everybody else went along with that. And the producer did give a couple of teases. He said that if you're watching the show, episode 6 will have Nem do something special, you know? And he also gave another hint of, she's a Takahashi heroine, so take that as you will. I'm gonna assume that means Nem is not gonna be in a bubble for the rest of the year. The last thing I'll bring up here is that he said that producer Yanaka's dream would be to expand Kamen Rider globally, not just what we have now, but just everywhere. And not even just that, but also meaning globally. So there would be like a Brazilian Kamen Rider or even an American Kamen Rider, not counting Dragon Knight, you nerds. You know what I mean. I'm really hoping for that too. I guess that'll be my dream to see an American-produced Kamen Rider coming from Toei. Oh, there was also this moment where producer Yanaka was talking about the toy, and then I heard behind me a few people rolled their capsule from their ZETZ driver. You nerds. You make me want one too. I should have bought one too, so I could do that and yell at myself for it. Cosmic Fury action.
The green button first. Okay, now do it.
It's morphin' time. Okay, Marcosatsu review. Don't buy this for $90. Then, of course, at the end, everybody got together for a group photo, and I can say I'm officially in a Kamen Rider thing by Toei because you could see my Boonboomger jacket under Zetz's armpit. If you want to watch the panel yourself, it was live streamed too, and as far as I know, it's going to stay up there, archived on Toei Tokusatsu World, and I'll even link that in the description below. Shout out to those of you who saw me on that live stream. Yeah, I was going to be there for the Q&A, but time ran out, so I couldn't ask my question. If you were curious about what I was going to ask, I was going to say something like, Producer Yanaka, you said that you had the international audience in mind for Kamen Rider ZETZ, but how far does that influence really go for designing the suit or even the action? I think a lot of us speculate that they did get some inspiration from American superheroes for the Kamen Rider ZETZ suit, but I personally wanted to know and get 100% confirmation on if they did think about that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. We did our Comic-Con thing after that, and we went home. It was cool. I enjoyed it. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go to work now. That's it.